Sit in this song. Yeah. Welcome in and take a seat and let us know just how you do. There is no one else on this planet who is as fly as you are. Take up your mantle and leave no residue. This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. What if I told you to sit in it for a minute and wrestle with your intentions? I know you're tired of pretending, yeah. I hope you're listening, this is just the beginning. And sitting is where the winning is. Learn it and you gon' win again. It's your throne cause you're double, you're due for a win. The lights on and the future just welcomed you in. Big boss flaws like Daenerys, now shall we begin? When you play the Game of Thrones, you better be playing to win. Masters and bastards is the language of past interactions. Disaster strikes and we need you seated, ready for action. Have some compassion, be rational. Now bring the fractional back to you in your capacity. Actually have audacity. Sit in your chastity, appreciate your masterpiece. Your masterpiece is how you piece together all the recipes. They can cook it up and dish it out, but they will never be the you we need. So please concede, it's time for you to take your seat. Wow.
Take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet
who is as fly as you are.
Take up your mantle and leave no
residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. Welcome in and take a seat and let us know just how you do. There is no one else on this planet who is as fly as you are. Take up your mantle and leave no residue. This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. Welcome in and take a seat and
let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet
who is as fly as you are.
Take up your mantle,
leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. Welcome in and take a seat
and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet
as fly as you are.
Take up your mantle and leave no residue. This is the beginning of legends and
now you are the proof.
Can I talk to somebody this afternoon who's had to wrestle with a fear of sitting? Like, I don't know where you've been, I don't know what you've dealt with, but let proof.
Yeah, like I said, ain't no Jim Crow. My stomach been jumping bungee rope. You see, I lied to myself. Cried every night, I deny myself. Looking for a sign for a voice out there. That's when I sat down like me, come here. Let's look at your scars, let's open your fears. Let's peel it apart, see what appears. Here, take your seat.
Come in and take a seat and let us know just how you do. There is no one else on this planet who is as fly as you are. Take up your mantle,
leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are.
Right, on me. That's when I made the jump, more like it was a sit-in. Had to stop pretending my truth was stranger than fiction, like it ain't written. Although my penmanship is sketch, I had to draw the line, connect the dots, remove myself from Mordor's eye. Return to self, return to sender, all your favorite precious little lies and projections. You see my essence ain't a prison, it's a prism of molecules and geometric patterns. I can't believe I let that interference turn to static. I can't believe my enemy was something I imagined. I can't believe with patience peace comes with understanding. The stars in their alignment don't require no one's timing. Your truth what you decided, your seat here you assigned it.
Take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet
who is as high as you are.
Take up your mantle and
leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof.
Welcome in and take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet who is as high as you are. Take up your mantle
and leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof.
Welcome in and take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet who is as high as you are. Take up your mantle,
leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof.
Welcome in and take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet
who is as high as you are.
Take up your mantle
and leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you
are the proof.
There is no one else on this planet
who is as high as you are.
Take up your mantle
and leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and
now you are the proof.
Hello, hello. Happy Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to our Sit In It series. This is our final Sunday of the month of August. Really excited. Again, the Sit In It series has been about the relationship with how we feel, things that we try to avoid, what it means to sit with discomfort and sit with the possibilities. So as you can see, today we're doing something a little different than we usually do. And I'm here filling in for Duran today. I am Ashley, head of community for Bridge City. And as you can see, for our front porch weekend here in our panel discussion, we have a lot of other Bridge City members with us. And if you guys wouldn't mind just taking a moment, introducing yourself to the fine people who've joined us today.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. I am Jude. I am the Director of Social Arts. Really lovely to see everybody here. And I'm excited. It's going to be a great panel.
Bring it in. Come on, Bob. Or Porch.
We can go clockwise. I'll do the one of the corners. My name is Bob Swanson. I'm the Director of Student and Families, and I'm in Starkville, Mississippi. And I couldn't help but notice in the chat, someone is, I was actually looking at my phone. Someone's messaging native atheist from Goose Crotch, Mississippi. I'm not sure if Goose Crotch is a real place. While someone else introduces themselves, I'm going to check in maps and see that's a real place.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
I'm going to go next because Bob, I was hovering. I'm Julian. I am a club organizer here at Bridge City. I'm over I organize the Content Creators Club, brand new, newly minted. I was hovering over this comment because I live in Memphis. Shout out from Tennessee. But I was wondering, is this a real city in Mississippi? Because I'm literally 15 minutes from Mississippi, so that's a strange one.
We got to do a fact check. We're going to do a live fact check here.
Goose Crotch is not popping up on my map. So
okay, all right. Well, I mean, maybe it's a slang.
Native atheist is saying it's not. Okay.
All right, you got us. You got us in the early stream. That's fair. Okay, Mark. Now, my apologies. Please let everyone know who you are.
Sure. Hey, my name is Mark Russell. I'm in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area, and I am heading up operations, or working to head up operations. We're getting some operation stuff going here. So just happy to be here. It's a great day.
Thank you so much, Mark. And of course, Noble, one of our newest members, please. I'm sorry, I just kind of took your intro there, but please, if you'd like to introduce yourself to everyone here at Sunday Sessions. Oh, and you are on mute. We're going to have that at least twice today.
There we go. That should be better now. My name is Noble AxioMX. I'm in the Atlanta area, and I'm a new member. I've been just trying to get involved as much as I can, and I was invited to join this panel, so I'm here.
Welcome in, Noble.
Yes, thank you so much, Noble, for joining us, and all of our panelists here today. I guess I should say I am from Southern California. I know you've seen me in the chat. Shout out to all my SoCal peeps out there and the rest of California as well. Now, as for today, we're going to kind of dive into the Sit In It series. We're going to kind of review everything. As you know, there's no perfect answers. We're just going to ask some questions to our panelists here, challenge some assumptions we may have, and share our experiences and see what happens. But before we do, I want to make sure we remind everyone of our Bridge City values and everything we kind of stand for here. So as you guys know, Bridge City is all about helping people build better, connect better, and live better. All of our mission kind of, oh, Erica, too cute this morning. All of our missions kind of centers around that. And you guys have been seeing us kind of live that out all month in our whole series here. So we're going to make sure we still go over some of the things that are happening on campus. As you know, we're constantly in construction. We're growing and building every day. Now, I didn't get a chance to check out how many members have come through in August. Does anyone have a count on that by chance?
I think it last year was somewhere around 30. Anna
I think it's actually, I think it was like 39 new August members. So.
Okay,
wow,
so
39. That's what, wow.
If you were thinking about, you're kind of on the fence, well, hey, watch us today, see how you feel, and then come join us on the campus. Of course, we're going to have coffee hour immediately after the stream, but for now, we're going to sit with us for a little bit. Coffee hour, if anything, this is a little teaser is what we decided. This is a teaser for the coffee hour, for just a 2-hour teaser is what we're going to do right now. So for all of our first-time guests here, welcome. As you may know, Mark has actually been working on some of our gifts on that. Mark, do you mind talking a little bit about that first-time guest, or actually for all of our members, right? It's for everyone.
Yeah, it's really for everyone. And so actually in this entire series, we've been creating some additional content that is available for download. It's there are things like reflection journals and stuff to kind of like think about the topics that were brought up. It's a way of like kind of reviewing uh, the what the topic of each of the Sunday sessions has been. It's a time to way to kind of reflect, but also to just remind yourself, because Durante's content can be a little dense sometimes.
In the best way, Durante, we promise, in the best way. It is, but it's personal growth and improvement, it's a dense topic. These are things we've all been thinking about for millennia.
Right, it's not a light topic. So, I mean, it can take some time to process, and sometimes you can't just do it all in one sitting, on Sunday. So the additional materials there to give you an opportunity to spend some time with yourself, to sit in it, as it were.
There you go. Well, so make sure that for our first time guests, of course, go check this out. And if you haven't even checked these out before, scan the QR code now on screen and make sure you join the campus to kind of take a look at this. Mark has been working really hard hand in hand with Durante to make these happen every week for you guys. So really worth checking out. Now, also, of course, on campus, you can always be checking out our lobby and our teams in the Welcome Center if you want to get involved, if you're already a member. We'd love to have more people, more hands in pot. As you can see, that translates to real opportunity to help spread our message and build the bridge. So we appreciate everyone who's taken that time to do so. We also have coming up, not today, but next Sunday is our movie night, right? Is that the first week in September, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Right. So you have my permission to stay up late on the Sunday before Labor Day and watch the movie. And then also stick around for the discussion. That half the fun is getting a chance to actually talk about the movie immediately thereafter.
Agreed.
While it's fresh in your mind, you got plenty of ideas, and it's an open forum, so anybody can kind of join in and chat. And
absolutely. So our movie is going to be Leaving My Father's Faith. We got it this time. Bob, can you give us just a little bit about this movie? What's it about? What would
it's a documentary, and documentaries may not float everyone's boat, but man, this is such a good one. The reason being the story is that there was a evangelist, preacher, and speaker named Tony Campolo that some folks may be familiar with, and Tony had a son named Bart. And Bart wound up following his father into the ministry and did so for several decades. And only when he turned, 45 or so, did Bart start having misgivings, and eventually publicly left the ministry. And this was a big, kind of a seismic quake in the evangelical world, because both were pretty well known. Tony perhaps being a little bit more famous. And so the documentary, after that occurred, they remained in relationship, eventually wound up writing a book together about what that experience was like. And then a documentary filmmaker said, hey, this would make a great documentary film. And so you're actually seeing Tony and Bart sitting down, driving in cars, having conversations. And how many of us are, especially those that have been deconverted, have strained relationships with their family. And you want to do what you can to kind of hold things together. And is there any way that we could possibly even rebuild some bridges that may appear to be broken or burned? And so it's a good view into that experience. And it's a great movie. I love it.
No, I hope you guys will check it out. I mean, I really feel like that kind of dealing with familial relations is one of those difficult feelings that we do have to sit in. And hopefully this movie night gives us some more tools to do so, or at least witness a beautiful story. I'm really looking forward to it. Documentaries are not my favorite, but this sounds genuinely interesting. I'm excited for it.
Ashley, this is going to sound crazy, but I just now noticed that those are Jenga blocks.
I was noticing while Bob was talking, I was like, what's up with those Jenga blocks?
And that's a metaphor in the film. That Bart, he realizes that he was having some misgivings for a while, and it was these little the blocks. Eventually, the foundation was so weak that he realized,
that is cool. See, I was about ready to just maybe they're going to play Jenga the whole time while they're talking about it. I could have gone either way, honestly. But no, really excited. So if you can, join us next Sunday for our community movie night. We do it every first Sunday of the month. We've seen a lot of great shows, so definitely make sure you come check it out. on this one.
And members are also welcome to suggest future movie nights. If you got, because this has been a favorite of mine. I've seen this movie. I'm more than happy to watch it again, and I'm really excited. But I'm also, encouraging folks, hey, if there's a movie that you would like to bring into the mix, there are ways to suggest those.
No, and actually that's such a good point. Like these movie nights that we do, they're not just coming from any one person's head. It's our whole community coming together and sharing different movies we want to see together, laugh about, cry about, laugh and poke fun of. So definitely make those suggestions on our resource board. Definitely a lot of great things on the campus if you haven't yet. Now, for everyone that's joining us today, whether you're joining us live, and again, hi everyone, or on the replay, or in a watch party. We always talk about watch parties. Just so you know, this is what they could look like. This is what a watch party could be. If you can get like you and like 3 friends together and you guys all get on, I don't know, Discord, some type of video call, and you just watch it, talk about the series. Like this is kind of what makes our connections come alive, is the fact that we can't sit here and talk about what does it mean to sit in it, guys? Like, what is this? So I just want to show you guys, this is what a watch party actually looks like. Thank you guys all for being here for my watch party. Really appreciate it. No, so.
Or are we watching?
I hope I dressed appropriately. I didn't bring any dip or chips. Sorry.
No, Jude, just look at me. That's it. It's your only job. So it's all so good to have us all with you guys this weekend. And we also have the songwriting sessions coming up on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
We're going to be working on a song for October's Sunday session.
Ooh, yeah. So, okay. If you ever thought like, hey, I really love that music that plays before Sunday sessions. Now, it's not all from Durante's head. Some of it comes straight from our social arts team. As you guys remember, the Bridge Builders, that has been such a huge project. We always have a million things going on.
The Reciprocity song.
The Reciprocity. Oh, so good. One of Julian's first songs we worked on. That was so good.
That was honestly the thing that hooked me. Like, it wasn't because I got to do it, but just like starting off being a part of it. Like, even though, and I told you guys, I was like, hey, like I'm at work, I may not be able to like contribute much, but I want to listen in and see the process. And I think I might have said like, a couple words the first time. And
it was awesome.
I was fully involved, and I was like, I knew this was a good place to be just from like joining that like club event. And I could, go from there.
I remember being on camera on the forklift. You're just like, what about he's talking about like a wolf or something? I was just like, it was great. There's really so many ways to get involved, whether you're just showing up to an event to participate, whether you're hosting something or leading something. And Jude, thank you so much, our director of social arts, taking on these different projects. It's really what brings us together, kind of like under a common cause for these things.
Honestly, that's why I joined Bridge City, as I was looking for opportunities to collaborate. Now I'm running all the collaborations. So
exactly, it's well deserved, and we thank you for everything you're doing. So appreciated. So if you've been thinking about getting involved, you can definitely check out our teams page through the Welcome Center on campus and join the social arts team. Get involved with our mission and events team if you want to help make these happen, or even our multimedia team, which just launched. You guys have heard us talk about the production club. Unfortunately, that is no more. But it's only so that we can bring our multimedia team to the forefront and have them do amazing things, get everyone involved, and help us host these sessions. Come up here to host with us on these live panels, anything you guys want to do. So check out these QR codes now, and we hope to see you guys kind of get up there. Now, I think that's the vast majority.
Always looking for new voices.
Always new voices, new bodies, new hands. Please come help us build. So I think it's about all my announcements right now. I want to go ahead and kind of jump into this. Now, with the Sit in It series, I want to make sure we just say a little something about it. This Sit in It series has been exploring what it's like, again, to sit with difficult emotions, and how to, when we want to escape, when we want to fix, when we want to suppress those emotions, how do we just let them be? And that's what the big focus on this series has been. And it's not just sitting with the hard emotions, it's sitting with recognizing our own capacity and bringing that forward. And so we're going to do that in full force today. We're going to bring up with our panelists, make sure everyone has something to talk about. And I'd kind of like to go, if we're okay with it, into our first prompt here. That is, what does it mean to sit in it? What does it mean for you guys? What has this series meant for you guys?
when I first heard it, of course, I'm a child of the 70s, and it made me think of the Fonz, Arthur Fonzarelli from Happy Days.
Hey.
Because he would, his thing was, of course he was the A kind of guy with the thumbs up, but one of his catchphrases was "sit on it, Richie, sit on it." Yeah, and when I first saw the series being "sit in it," for whatever reason, it brought the Fonz to mind.
I like that. Honestly, considering my first thought of it was like babies sitting in their diaper on duty, right? That's how I was just like, what do you mean sit in it? What are we doing over here? But okay, so we got
like that.
Because it does. It feels like sitting in a diaper sometimes. Jeez. So what about Julie? What about you? When you heard sit in it, what did you think?
Oh, like I think I was already kind of on the the path of like sitting in something like some sort of like mind state, but more of like just like a focus, not necessarily just a straight up like what is uncomfortable necessarily, or painful, or just difficult.
Yeah, and sometimes I think what's so interesting about the Sit in It series, you guys, is that for so much of it, like I feel like sometimes you can use that sitting in it functionality to like try to escape the problem, right? Like I'm gonna think about this so hard and for so long and deconstruct it to the point where it's like it becomes almost meaningless and obsessive. Like it really for both. Please.
See, for me, it's actually kind of the opposite of that, because for me, like the overthinking, right, is like I'm a chronic overthinker, and overthinking is kind of how I avoid dealing with the emotional fallout. So that was kind of what Sit in It meant for me, is that whole like learning how to just experience the emotion and be okay with it, and like realize that nothing massive is going to happen if I feel.
No, that's the other piece of it, right?
What I'm hearing is kind of like a paralysis by analysis. Is that kind of is
yes!
that a problem for you, Jude?
That's a good way to put it.
Right.
I love it. Okay, so Noble, I mean, being our newest member here, what have you thought of the series? What did you think when you heard Sit in It?
So me, when I hear Sit in It, I just like the fact that as a communicator, it simplifies a lot of concepts. It could be face your fears in one situation, and it could be, do your due diligence in another situation. It could be having accountability in another situation. So for somebody that likes to talk a lot, I feel like sometimes I can drown out what I'm trying to say to people, and it just all gets lost. But if somebody could watch a series like this and get accustomed to this idea, sit in it, they can use it in different places when they need it.
No, I absolutely love it. I absolutely, because you're right. It's like kind of versatile in that way. And that's, you gotta like love and appreciate the simplicity of this instruction. Like sometimes it does. Sometimes it means actually sorting it out, taking a moment and pausing. And sometimes it means, hey, you just gotta handle it. It just is what it is. I like that a lot. It's very versatile. But Mark, what are you thinking? I see you thinking over there.
Oh, I'm always thinking about things. But
you are a thinker. Yeah, this is true.
I am a thinker. There's just been different moments, because actually at the beginning of the series, my friend lost his mom, and that was a moment when we had to sit with that. And we always have these moments in our lives when we have to sit with a situation, something that we are kind of powerless to in some ways, but we are able to reclaim that power by creating the agency. That was the entire message of this series, was moving from this sense of helplessness to a sense of agency. And I've had, we've all had moments like that, and there's definitely the timing was just kind of uncanny in some respects for this.
Well, and thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. Like, I do remember that piece in that slide that you made, and it was, I think that grief, I mean, not necessarily trying to take it here, but I think grief is one of those hard things to sit in, because there's just so little, at least for me, there's so little you can do except accept it, and it's just, that's a very good point with this.
We talked about, actually, that brought up a point, was like in the Jewish tradition, they have a tradition of called sitting shiva during when somebody has a relative has passed or something, and it's the time to sit with the grief it's kind of like a wake, it's where people are coming over to spend time with the loved ones. One of the things that's interesting, I guess, that one of the traditions is you cover all of your mirrors.
Really?
Yeah, so the idea is to cover all the mirrors with black cloth or something. You cover all the mirrors. So the idea is that you're not supposed to be paying attention to like how you be concerned about how you look or how
you're just focusing on.
Yeah, it's a way of not having those distractions. So that's kind of an interesting additional thing that.
No, I actually quite like. Well, immediately when you said, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie The Others, but like they actually cover them on both The Others, but it's because the kids are ghosts and they're dead, but it's a little different. But it's a really good movie. I recommend it, honestly. But I really
movie night.
Right? No, I'm gonna have to go recommend it now. I like what I like about the idea of sitting with it, because like you said, Mark, so much of it is about like just taking back your agency in a situation, and that's hopefully a lot of this series is like what brought that to our guests, to all of us here, is that what does it mean to reclaim our agency in a situation, especially one where we don't feel like we have control. And that's where like I feel like grief is just kind of a prime example. We're all going to have that experience in our life, and it's how do you sit with that? How do you claim that? So the series as a whole has been great. Julian, I think you had a question for our audience people.
Yes. My question is, since we've started the series, have you had a moment or any time where you've had to actually sit in it? And this is like, we want your response. We want to see, in chat, let us know.
And
just so we can
just a
see,
number,
like, kind of
just the number.
Yeah, just a number. 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for not yet. And this is just, if you've had a moment, a chance to actually come across something where you went, you know what? I think I'm just gonna have to sit in this.
And during the series, and while the audience kind of gives their respects in, puts their votes in, I want to hear from the panel. Like, you guys, we've been in this series all month. Have any of you guys had an opportunity where you have had to sit in a situation?
I have, and also I'll float out another metaphor that just kind of hit me. There's when I hear the term "sit in it," it makes me think of the verb marinate, right?
Oh, I can see that.
Right? And like, what actually happens when you're marinating,
Meat
a
gets
piece
delicious.
of chicken, right? It takes on the flavor, right? But it only works. Only works if you do it for a while, right? You actually have to, you just can't dip the chicken for 5 minutes and expect
You
and
actually
I
have
think
to
that's
let it
maybe
sit.
a good thing, because all too often, sitting in it means, oh, man, I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be uncomfortable for a long time, and that's tough to sell.
It is.
Because who's going to want to go through that?
This is going to suck for a while. Just so
and so I think it's important to either have examples of the benefits of it. If you're asking people to change their behavior or to take on this process, what's the upside? Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? And it's that flavorful piece of chicken. Or in my experience, it's like I shanked one in class. I'm a teacher, and I told my students something, which then after class I realized it was wrong.
Oh,
and then I had to wait until the next class period, but I was going to make that right.
Shanked means something very different to me.
Shanked is
When you said shank, I was just like, Bob, this is
I got it. I was like,
we can talk about this off stream.
That's like a golf term, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay.
So
I got
no,
it. But I was
it's a
like,
staffing term. It's a staffing term, you guys.
No, it's both. No, Bob, listen. One thing I think that's even like, I guess, like deeper or more like connecting with that chicken and like marination analogy is that when you marinate, it breaks down the proteins.
Ooh.
Like, and that's how the flavor like
absorb
gets in. So like
something.
that's why a lot of like marinades have like acidic. Like, 'cause I like to marinate like pork. And a lot, like you just use like juice. It's something with like high acidity will break down those like protein fibers, and that's how it gets tender, because it's essentially like, softening up by like kind of breaking, literally just breaking those muscles down. So,
I
marinating
really
can
like
be
this.
uncomfortable.
No,
Even
but
better
actually,
analogy.
it cooks fish too if you marinate it in
Yeah.
acidic stuff. I honestly, I promise. I know we're going. I think we're hungry. It's early. That's fair, honestly. But if this is true, marinating in something, it really
I am
does
now.
give
Don't we
you
have a
like the
kitchen club
outlet to
or
receive.
don't
We
we have
need
a food
it.
club?
We're gonna need it, honestly.
We can Ashley's been advocating for a cooking club. I've been
like
trying to get people to
cooking.
a maker club.
Just start cooking. And Gerard is like,
There are
here we go.
videos of me on YouTube cooking.
We're gonna have to have a part 2 with using food metaphors only. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get a poll going on campus. We're just like, give us your favorite food metaphors. It's gonna be great. I was thinking about sitting in it.
Event.
It's gonna be. We could have a whole cooking event. You guys, this is how events get started, by the way. Just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we all cook together? Yeah, let's do that. Let's make that happen. But no, I was thinking about the sit in it, and I think so. I've had an opportunity to. I think our poll came back 100% yes, if I'm not mistaken. There,
I believe so.
yes. Okay, so we've all had that opportunity, and I do have. This month for me, as you guys may know, my work is always pretty crazy, pretty demanding for more kind of thing. And I've had multiple points in this month where I've had to kind of like take a moment and literally sit and like, what's happening right now? What am I feeling with work? What pressures am I feeling by trying to move forwards with something? And for me, what sit in it has meant a lot has been about taking a moment to pause and then like reprioritize and kind of clarify where I'm coming from. It's really easy. We have it even with our wellness checks that we do. It's really easy to kind of ramp yourself up and just feel like you got to get stuff done, get things handled. Everything has to be adjusted. At least for me, that's how I move. And sitting with it has given me moments where I pause and go, hey, this is not that important. This does not involve me having to freak out and stress right now. And so that for me, that's what this series has been so great at. It's just like giving me moments to reprioritize like how I've been feeling. I'd be curious, like, have you guys had a chance where you guys like, what has been a practical example? Bob's out here shanking students left and right.
I need to know this other usage, because
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. Okay.
It's going for stab.
Stab. All right.
So
okay.
good.
All right. Okay.
It's a verb and a noun technically, so
All right.
Yeah.
I like this.
So I've had to look up shank and whatever the town was in Mississippi, possum crotch or whatever it was.
Goose crotch.
Goose crotch, there we go.
Bob's our resident fact checker on this. I absolutely love it. But no, so I mean, there is a difference between sitting in an emotion and just getting stuck. And I think that's the part I know that I grapple with. Like, Jude, you were talking about how like you're an overthinker. When are you using sit in it to be like, oh, no thanks. I'm just going to stay over here and think about it forever kind of thing.
Honestly, this month has been a really good reminder for me because, I have a lot of stuff that happens in my daily life, and it's often a lot. I have I've always been a very kind of someone who feels emotions strongly, and growing up, I got a lot of negative responses to that. So I kind of learned to bottle them up, to try and ignore them, push them down. And that's never been good for me. But it's kind of it kind of became a very deeply ingrained habit. And so I've been working in recent years on trying to kind of deconstruct and deprogram that impulse much more. But so it's been helpful this month to just kind of have that reminder that I'm not the only one who's dealing with this problem, that like being able to like sit and acknowledge and feel the emotions, stay in the present with them, I think has been a really big it's been really, really helpful to know just how many people out there are also like in the same boat, working on the same path. I'm not alone in this. I'm not unique or special because I'm dealing with it. I would give specific examples, but it's a lot of personal stuff.
No, you're good. Thank you. No, really, it's like human nature to want to avoid those uncomfortable feelings. So it's kind of like, yeah, to be able to sit in it and actually just experience it. I mean, that's in itself
I
is
do
so
have a
huge.
specific example I can share.
Okay, good. Lay it on us.
Okay, no, so okay, so I went to get a haircut, and it was kind of a last minute, and we thought we had, gone in on a cancellation or something. And so I'm like, oh, great, I can get in same day with this, awesome guy who comes highly recommended. So I go, I get down there, and I try to get in the building, and I call him, he's already left, and I realized, oh no, I had accidentally booked for the next week and just didn't know. I was so embarrassed. I was mortified, and part of me is just like, well, maybe I should just cancel the appointment and get everything refunded and not have to deal with going back, because he had already left, but he was like at the door, and so it's like he's like standing there, and we're like talking, and I'm just like, sorry. But it was like I had to sit with that embarrassment and be like, okay, like I still want the appointment, but it's like now I've got to like deal with that kind of embarrassment, that feeling of like, oh wow, I'm really like, social faux pas are not a strange occurrence for me or rare in any sense of the term, but it's just kind of like, but that it's also been a major trigger for me to kind of withdraw, right? And I've had, because I've been very socially awkward in my life, I often will lose out on opportunities that were, sitting right in front of me, available to be grabbed, because I wasn't capable of dealing with the embarrassment of tripping over myself or sticking my foot in my mouth. One of those things.
Well, what is that? There's like a phrase, and you guys might have to help me here, but there's a phrase where it's like, remember the last time someone embarrassed themselves? It is disco mix. I'm sorry. I love that, Captain. Copy our disco mix. Okay, the phrase is like, when is the last time someone you remember embarrassed themselves in front of you? And like everyone kind of like struggles to remember like last time someone else embarrassed themselves. But then you go, okay, when was the last time you embarrassed yourself in front of someone else? And you're immediately just like, oh, I did this week and I did last week. And there's like a really succinct phrase that escapes me right now that's like about that. But isn't it crazy? Like you really are, I don't want to say your own worst critic, because that's not the phrase, but you really do, like, Jude, I'm sure for you, the hairdresser didn't even think twice on it. Just like, no, it's next week. Bye. Went about his life, thought nothing of it. But for you, you're just like, okay, let me take this in. Let me go over here and just handle it. But it's often that like embarrassment is just it's just a byproduct. It's nothing. Being present is what matters kind of thing. So like,
well, and like you said, like most people have experienced embarrassing themselves in public. And so most people aren't going to care if you do it, as long as you're not like, chewing the scenery.
True.
Right. Or if you had or if you had blamed him that he screwed up the appointment, right?
I was gonna say, there's lots of different ways to approach this. Like you could have been a complete Karen.
Exactly. I want this appointment right now.
When he first came up to me, I think he was afraid that was going to happen, and I was like super embarrassed. And he's just like, no.
Turn the big thing over here. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, but yeah, no. But when he came up to me, and he's just like, "I'm sorry. Was there a mix-up or something? Can we like check the email and stuff like that? I need to know if there's something wrong with my booking system, because you're booked in here for next week." So he was like really professional about it, and not at a single point did I feel like he was like, shaming me or anything. But like it was me being like, "Oh no, this person has to like is ready to leave is like." Talking about like, oh well, I've already put everything away and I'm finished for the day, and okay. I was like, no, it's okay.
I really like what Mark said about you're right. Like in that moment, you could have gone Karen with it. You could have just started crying. Like I think there's something, and you guys please correct me if I'm wrong because this is my read of it. But like I think there's something with sit in it that asks you to be a bit responsible for your emotions a little bit, right? To take accountability for it. And it may be to some degree, that's kind of what agency is. It's saying, yes, it's the freedom to make choice, but also the responsibility of that choice and how we choose to react, how nervous system grabs us and pulls us, what we choose to do. I don't know if I'm barking up the wrong tree or sitting in it. I'm going too crazy on it, but that feels close to me.
I mean, so I just highlighting different emotions, I think brings up a kind of interesting point about like agency, and I think like kind of dips into free will, but we'll kind of keep it shallow. But
Determinism.
you don't always have control over like the emotion. I'll say you almost never have control over like the emotion you feel from something. The control comes at the reaction, right? Like if something gives you a emotional response, that is just the response that you've been conditioned to for whatever reason, that specific stimulus got that response from you. So you know if your emotion is embarrassment, if the emotion is anger, if the emotion is sympathy or sadness, it's like no matter what it is, like that is the thing that
like the
must be
stimuli
set.
like the stimuli of it kind of thing.
Well, the stimuli would be like whatever the situation is. The response would be the emotion felt from it.
And
But
I
the
would
emotion felt from it isn't always like controllable.
so for instance, would you say then that like if you tend to get embarrassed in a situation, right? And your whole life with embarrassment, whenever you felt embarrassed, you're like you would run and go hide to your room and stuff like that. Like maybe that embarrassment, that feeling on your nervous system, that's the stimuli for you, let's say, like, right? But how you choose then to go through it, you don't just have to rely on your coping mechanism for it. You don't
Right.
have to run to your room in embarrassment. You can actually say, okay, no, I'm going to own this. It's not that big of a deal, whatever it may be. Like maybe that's what being emotionally flexible is to some degree.
Yeah, I would say like I don't know if I would call that emotional flexibility, just because I would say emotional flexibility is more like being able to like go in and out of different emotions smoothly. Like some people, like go 0 to 100, and then
Oh
some
yeah,
people
that's
like
me.
get kind of gradual. I can say like
100%.
that could be a form of flexibility though. Like 'cause it's not always a bad thing, right? Like there could be a situation where everything could be great. Like you could be at the park with kids, and then some creeper come by. Like emotionally, you have to go from
Like
to
he's like, let's
who
just
is
wait
that?
and see
You
how
shouldn't
this
like
goes
they're
out. Like we'll see how it plays out. It'll
right.
be fine. I'm emotionally regulated.
But like what I mean is like having the ability to like recognize the emotion and then like guide the response. It's like like water, right? Like if water is coming through like a river, you may not be able to stop the water, but you may be able to guide the water. Like, hey, like I need you to go this way. Like it's like you can run, it's fine. Like I get it. Like you're gonna flow. I can't stop you from flowing. But
Well,
like if we could flow this way, we could do something with that water. We could power a
all I'm
village. We
thinking
could
of like
feed crops.
I'm thinking water bending, right? Like I'm just immediately thinking like
Yeah.
Avatar: Last Airbender. I'm like, yeah, I can
Yeah.
get a little
Guitar
guitar
action.
action.
Yeah,
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 dude, this is why me and Jude do the outros together because they're just like, well, like a guitar action down
yeah.
for it. No, I really like that. Like your if your feelings are like water, you're not gonna be able to stop them. They're gonna get through. Like at least you can help guide them. Your nervous
Right.
system. I mean, I really
You
like
filter.
that. Like a little
Filter. Some of that stuff doesn't need to go through.
So yeah, I like this.
Some
So
of that
let
stuff needs to just stop at this point of at the bank at the river. Some of it can
no,
pass.
You just sift the crud out of the water.
Yeah.
Let it
Yeah.
be good water, fresh water.
no, I think that's
Exactly.
something I've really struggled with in my life is like knowing when something doesn't warrant a reaction, I guess is the way to say it. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I tend to like anything. I'm very reactive, right? Like, a branch could fall out right now, and I'm gonna leave this stream, and I'm gonna be like, "Sorry, guys, a branch fell in the front yard. This is my only concern. Just go look at the stick right now." Like, I feel like I've always had a really hard time, like trying to filter out what those are. Like, how do you guys know when? Oh no, this ain't worth my time. Like this is not. I don't even need to sit in this. This can go over there. I'm not worried about this. How do you guys know?
Because I'm going to be dead soon. That's the way I kind of look. I'm an astronomy teacher,
I love it.
and so I look at things in a very cosmological perspective. And these vast amount of times. The human lifespan is very short. I don't live a particularly like risky life. I don't have any terminal illness, but yet I recognize I'm probably the oldest member of the panel here. I've only got a couple of decades, and so therefore I do, I react to things very specifically. Where this is not worth my time. It's not worth me getting upset about, because you know, my time is limited. Yeah.
Does that keep you pretty even keeled?
Mhm.
Like,
It does.
I was going to say, Bob, I'm the oldest member of
Are
the
you?
panel.
Are we sure?
Mark's like, don't take my throne here. I chose this seat. Get out of here.
You dare disrespect me, child. I was there when they wrote the old magic.
No, I like legitimately. I will say that, Bob, to your point, like I've tried. It is an age off, like legit. You guys win. Like,
Get off my lawn.
I feel like that's probably, I hate to say it, but it's a real practical way to think about things. Like, it's you're right. At some point, like, I have been doing a version of this. I haven't been thinking in my head like, oh, I'm gonna die soon, so I don't care about this water bill right now. But I do think, like, is this gonna matter to me tomorrow? Is this, if I do another hour of worrying about this, is it going to make the situation better? I think about it in terms of time. Like, that's been something, and it's really been something I started so recently. Who knows? Maybe even because of the series. Like, I've just really started thinking about things of time. Like, is 10 more minutes of fretting going to do anything? Is 2 more days of stressing out going to do anything? Because if it's not, at the end of the day, my feelings, my reactions, whatever else can't change it, then what are we doing here, right? Like, what else does it even matter?
Yeah, it keeps you from wallowing. Yeah, because it's just wallowing things.
That's also something that I think about. I mean, I definitely think about that because I've got maybe at best another 2 decades. So
you guys are bumming me out.
Well, this is actually something I've heard from like some of these Stoic podcasts and stuff like that. They mentioned specifically the phrase "memento mori," remember that you must die, that you will die. It's an old Stoic kind of saying. Some people would carry a coin with them that has that phrase on them, so it says to remind them of that we all have this impending doom, whatever.
Isn't sitting in this reality or this
right? It's sitting in this reality.
This is where religions come from to begin with.
That's true.
That discomfort in dealing with mortality.
Yeah.
Well, but on the flip side, right? Like, remembering that we all must die, and especially like having deconstructed from a belief that, promises eternal life in heaven, and now I'm like, okay, so this is it, right? And, and it really, really highlights the importance of living the life while we've got it, really.
Right.
And that's kind of what I try to take away from it more than anything, is this idea that we do have a limited time, but that doesn't mean that that limited time can't be meaningful and impactful or even just enjoyable.
No, but it can even give you a sense of urgency that
and value.
I always return to Robert G. Ingersoll, my thought here, a 19th century orator, and my mantra that I got from him was, the time to be happy is now, the place to be happy is here, and the way to be happy is to make others so.
Ooh.
That in my mind, that's humanism in 3 lines.
I really like that.
And it helps to motivate me every day. Yeah.
I would even say too, like, I really like the phrase "wherever you go, there you are" kind of thing. Like, because it's just so, like, all you really have is present time. Like, we can make all the future plans we want, and we can, memorize the past and look through pictures, but like this present moment. So like I really feel like time is just the best way to try to quantify like how much something is worth to you in that moment. How much is it worth sitting in it, kind of thing. But I
don't know if 2 cartoon references in 5 minutes is too many, but
it's not
Steven Universe. Why can't you just let yourself be wherever you are?
Yeah, I love it. Like, that's such a great show, by the way. Absolutely love it. It's in my notes here, because you guys, I got notes. There's no way I'm just flying off the script with this. But I want to say, like, it says in here, what's the hardest emotion for like people to sit in? And I really think, I'm so sorry, Julian, I'm leaving comments to you. That's all you. They come up on screen. You guys, he's the one
I just
ignoring
want
comments. It's not me.
to here and there. It's a quote. You know, it's easy. Like, you know, somebody wants to write it down or something. I'll write it down.
Erica, thank you so much. No, okay, so what I was saying was that legit, it does feel like that discomfort with death, that discomfort with non-existent. It does seem to be a very prime motivator behind so many other actions, even other emotions. And I really do agree that like religion as a school of thought does hijack that discomfort and says, no. You don't got to sit with that, baby. You don't got to let that drive your decisions. No, it's all going to be okay. Promise, cross my heart kind of thing. And I feel like for some people, you know, I'm an atheist myself. Some people kind of go through that angry atheist phase. And that's kind of why, because it's like, now all of a sudden it's like, no, you got to sit with that discomfort. You got to like, and I think
that's like we talked about avoidance. You know,
yes,
religion sanctions avoidance, and
yes, it promotes it. It makes it to where if you guys are the ones talking about it, you guys are the weirdos. Like, hey, no, we already decided we're gonna avoid the crap out of this, so like it's fine, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's in someone else's hands.
I'm curious to hear, Noble, do you have any thoughts on this? I know we've all been talking over each other for months at this point.
Yeah, and I didn't want to hot seat you because you guys know I love hot seats.
If you have anything to say.
Just to talk over us, you have to.
Yeah, I got a little bit I could say, but piggybacking on what y'all been saying already, I think when it comes to what you value, your time is wasted if you're speaking to somebody and they're being disingenuous. But if you're trying to get someone something across and someone's not being disingenuous, you know, they're being sincere with you. I think that's how I differentiate when I want to sit in something and take my time with something versus when I don't have time for it at all. And like another thing that came to mind with what you were just saying now, respecting yourself is if somebody's wasting your time, you know, you don't need to entertain that. But when it comes to just looking at how people deconstruct religion, right, or deconstruct anything, a lot of times the toolkit you were given from whatever conditioning, you know, you were brought up in originally or whatever indoctrination you have, that toolkit may not look the best. That toolkit can be, you know, narcissism. That toolkit can be Darvo. That toolkit can be, you know, deflecting, attacking. But if you now are told after you deconstructed a way to reconstruct a new approach, I feel like it can be an introductory toolkit to how you can start, you know, approaching things differently than maybe you otherwise would have from wherever you were coming from.
No, you know what, Noble, I have a really important question that's also kind of in line with my notes. So this is actually perfect. Okay, so my question is to you based off what you just said, because you're right. Sometimes you can have a toolkit to already deal with some of these uncomfortable emotions, whatever they may be, and they can be harmful, they can be unhealthy, they can be toxic. So how do you know when you have a toolkit that isn't serving you well, that isn't, you know, promoting at least your well-being, if not others around you? What do you think? Sorry, it's a toughie, but
I think like asking somebody if they stay. Sorry.
No, it's just like, I want you to tell me the meaning of life. It's not 42. Please go.
No, I think people just have to have humility. I think people have to have humility to know that we all have blind spots, and you might have been overconfident in whatever you believed in before, and as soon as you start noticing some chinks or some cracks, you know, you just have to understand that you are able to unlearn what you've learned to learn something improved. And, you know, it's never a shame to learn something improved or have a better system than what you've had before. So if what you're doing is not working, you can recalibrate.
Okay, that literally reminds me of something Bob always says to me, like, is it fallible? Like,
right. If I happen to be mistaken about this, how would I figure that out?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Like we
the null hypothesis.
We are human beings with finite knowledge individually and collectively, like acknowledging, being humble, recognizing like where we're at, please.
One thing
I
I
like
just
what-
thought about, because Noble mentioned about deconstructing, and Mark has done such a great job of encouraging folks to kind of journal, and even the fact that we're looking at the past month's worth of conversations and what did we learn about this. Compare this to if anybody did come from a religious background. What were you doing during the hour of church service? You're waiting for lunch, right? You weren't listening.
Oh,
You weren't taking
pancakes.
notes. You weren't gonna, and then at lunch you weren't talking about the sermon. And that's the beauty of this kind of a community, is that, man, we're learning some really good stuff, and we're then sitting in that knowledge, that newfound knowledge, and seeing how can it apply to our lives, and how can it make us better.
Actually, I really want to highlight that, and not just to shamelessly plug Bridge City and you joining the campus again, but really, it's so interesting because we have conversations, like, don't get me wrong, we have game nights and we have movie nights, but then we'll have these conversations about new schools of philosophical thought, or deconstructing like the might makes right argument, and then we'll talk about it for weeks. We will talk about it with other members. We were talking about it with whoever presented it. Like, it'll be something on our mind. Like when we had the reciprocity series, we talked about that as a community. We talked about, okay, what would be a beautiful song for it, but how do we show up through reciprocity? What does it mean when people owe stuff to us? Like, I know that a lot of this looks churchy. I get it. We meet Sunday mornings, we wear whatevs, and we talk, kind of thing. But really, it's all of us making that choice to say, no, I want to engage with these topics. And then we do. Like that's authenticity that I feel like Bridge City gives us all the space for.
What I love about Bridge City is that it's just a whole bunch of really curious people who aren't ashamed of their curiosity. And like, there are certain circles, churches, certain churches, where like if you ask too many questions, you just kind of get like, well, I mean, like, just go by what the priest said, right? It's that kind of attitude, like asking too many questions is inviting trouble, and it is just so refreshing to be in a situation where you ask a whole bunch of questions. They're like, oh yeah, that's really good. We should do a small talk on this, and we should do a trigger warning on that. Like, oh, these are great questions, and that's like. And it's what really more than anything makes me feel like I kind of found my people, because I've always been that kind of person where like I want to ask the questions that kind of jump out to me, and I want to and investigate and like just express that curiosity. And I finally found somewhere where there's other people who have the same impulses.
Intellectually curious, for sure. Margaret, I can see it. It's on the tip of your tongue.
No, I just was thinking about some of the people that I've interacted with. Like, I'm going to talk just briefly about my ex. One time we went to a movie with his family, and afterwards we walked out that movie, and they didn't say a thing. They weren't talking about the movie. They weren't talking about. We had dinner afterwards. Nobody talked about any of this stuff. I'm like, what is there? Are these people just not curious about this? Aren't they? Do they just not think about it? They didn't say anything about it. This is weird. Are they afraid to talk about it? Anyway, but that he was in like this very religious kind of family and situation and stuff, which is why it was just kind of.
Wait, what was the movie?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Oh my goodness!
You're burying the lead. He's like, it was A Bug's Life, and no one was picking it up afterwards.
Like, was it something politically charged?
It was like one of the Marvel movies or something like that, which definitely Marvel has like political kind of shit in it.
Well, yeah, but like in a way where you could ignore it easily and just.
Well,
like,
true.
No,
you can always take a lesson away from a movie.
Every movie.
Like
no, for sure.
Yeah. If I know that, like, if I'm like going to the movies with someone, and if we leave the movie theater and someone's not like, oh, what did you think about X, or we're not talking about the movie, these are not my people. I'm so sorry, you guys. Like, if we go to a movie together, the immediate conversation after the movie better be about the movie. I don't know what we're doing.
Movies and media,
I thought that was the
like that.
Yeah,
I don't realize people did that.
It's like
no. I honestly, no, I hate to say, I have people in my life right now. Mark, I've had the same situation where we've gone into the movies together, walked out, and they're like, oh, look, do you guys want to go get some food or something? I'm like, did you guys Did you guys see Sydney Sweeney in that though? So anyways, we can go to a swap meet later. And I'm like, okay. I didn't want to talk about it anyways.
That's the secular version of being unequally yoked. Whether you talk about a movie or you don't talk about a movie.
That's how you know, like, that's a litmus test right there, because we will not be friends. So no, but I really appreciate about that. It's like when we say I'm sorry, I gotta call this one out, because there's always something to learn from media, even if it is only what not to do. 100%. Like, okay, I'm so sorry to side swipe into movies right now, but one thing people keep with movies, and I feel like they don't. Yeah, I know we watch movies passively with our phone in our right hands, kind of thing, but like every choice in a movie is deliberate. Now, don't get me wrong, may not be the most optimal choice they wanted to make, depending on budget constraints or timing or whatever, but it was still a choice. So to pretend like movies don't have some type of underlying media like literacy to them, we need to have a media literacy thing too.
We had a media literacy thing earlier this month, and you can still go and check out the replay if you join Bridge City.
Yes. Oh, dude, thank you.
Subtle plug.
Bob, thank you again so much for that. Yeah, dude, no, that was a good one. I got distracted, but really, I do think just media is so worth. Lady Lost says here, me and my dad used to get ridiculously philosophical after watching a movie, because you can. Where else, like in your day-to-day stuff, like we have our Sunday sessions, we have these conversations, but outside of you going, okay, guys, I want us to have a philosophical talk at noon on Sunday. Where else are you kind of playing with some of these abstract concepts that you're not going to experience? You don't get to talk about the morality of a terrorism attack unless you watched a movie on it. You're not going to be dicing that out. Please.
And on a certain level, you could even argue that philosophy is just telling stories about abstract concepts.
Legit. Did you just sell philosophy? I like that. I
like Lady Lost. Yeah. And the cool thing, an artist, they want to provoke those conversations. They don't necessarily want to give you a perspective. They don't want to hit you over the head. This is what I want you to get out of this. A lot of artists want that the audience to be in conversation. And what's cool about what Lady Lost said, what wonderful memories does Lady Lost have?
Yes!
The fact that she went to the movies with her dad and had these, this was their chance to have these kind of conversations. That's awesome.
And that's like people connecting as people. You know what I mean? Yep. Like when you work with someone, or like even with these panels, like I don't know you because I don't know Bob, because I go, yeah, Bob's someone I have meetings with. I go, no, Bob is someone who I know cares a lot about truth and epistemology and the soundness of that. These are ways that I understand Bob and that we've connected over. Like that, at least that's the type of connection I'm looking for. I'm not saying that it can't just be like, bro, did you guys check out that episode last night? I'm not saying it can't be that, but the way I know all of you is really how you guys have connected with me through some of these great talks we've had, the still philosophical concepts we've explored together, especially Noble, me and you. I feel like that's one thing we've like really got a chance to kind of touch base on and explore, even if we don't always agree. Like, I know we're talking a lot about these concepts that we have in our conversations we have in our community, but because we're all diverse perspectives here, there's going to be pushback on stuff. There's going to be ways to explore them. It's always about the idea. It's never just like a attack on someone. I just like that we give each other that space to present that.
Yeah,
the capacity.
Definitely. Even with what you just said, I was going to say that even with what y'all were just talking about with media, someone's always telling a narrative with media, and my approach to it, I always like to hear the stories of whatever the media is talking about, from if it has anything to do with real life, the real people from that situation, because your news, your journalism, your movies about an area could always paint a surface level image of something. And like if I watch a movie and I walk out the theater with someone, I'm immediately talking about how that movie contrasts to the underbelly that's not seen in real life, or the real people that actually go through those narratives in real life, what their story is contrasting to what the media and the art is showing and displaying. And you can get some interesting conversations out of that.
And actually, I love that too, because like, for instance, I don't watch war movies. I've told you guys this before. The only war movie I've seen is 1912 because it had excellent technical aspects, it was excellent. But realistically, you're right. Like each form of media, and thank you, Jude, for the call on the media literacy presentation. Has a narrative it's putting forward, and interacting with that narrative and scrutinizing it, I feel like is a big thing that we all probably do individually and definitely do together.
And I'll put it a little plug. In real life, where I'm heading next is I'm going to an open house at my local community theater, because I'm involved in local community theater. In fact, the show that I just got a role in is a show called Come From Away, which is all about, if you're not familiar with it, it's a Broadway musical, and it's about 9/11. Of course, we're almost to the 25th anniversary. And I think this is probably something we'll hopefully be talking about in Bridge City next month, is the complicated emotions looking back on that day. But the premise of the show is that when the planes crashed into the towers, there were a lot of planes over the Atlantic in mid-flight that had to come down, and a lot of them were directed to Newfoundland. And so the story is this town of Gander, Newfoundland, population 7,000 to 9,000, all of a sudden had 7,000 passengers arriving
from all over the world.
And what did the community do? They got together and they made these people feel comfortable. They had to feed them, they had to have a place to stay and shower and changes of clothes and all that kind of stuff. And it's the reason why I'm attracted. I hadn't heard of the show, but auditioned, and the more I learned about it, I realized, this is humanism. And I love kind of the story. And but I think that just reflecting on 9/11 will be a useful thing, next month.
It actually completely will be, and I've been thinking a lot about it because as we, there's been a lot of things going on. I do just want to do a really quick shout out to everyone in Nepal. I don't know how to make this just better. Just that's been pretty horrific. I don't know if you guys have seen the news on that. Not trying to derail this completely, but it just heart that goes out to everyone that's experienced in that. But with 9/11, it's actually, this is something I'm just going to be frank. Yeah, at this point, I'm going to be frank. It really upsets me how, as humans, we only tend to bond together in periods of immense trauma. If you think back to 9/11, we'll probably be having a full discussion panel on that as well. The America, at least the sentiment in America was, it did not matter if you were in New York that day or if you were in Southern California that day. We were one people mourning the loss of something that was terrible. And that fervor took us to a war. But for a while there, we were very cohesively united under that trauma. And I feel like this relates to sitting in it. I feel like in the respect that, why is it, guys, that as human beings, we're only able to come to each other when it's from a place of hurt? I'm sorry, I'm probably not phrasing this question the best, but hopefully you get what I'm putting down here, kind of thing.
I think part of that is it's about when you're hurt, you feel a stronger need. I think because when we're okay, there's a reticence again, the tendency to avoid. And I think the tendency to avoid the small, trying not to sweat things that are a little bit smaller, or you feel like you don't want to bother somebody. I know that's again something really personal to me, is that I spend way more time than I care to admit, having this just kind of inbuilt feeling that any time spent with me was an imposition, right? It was not healthy, but it was that tendency of falling into this pattern of oh, well, I mean, if you're putting up with me, then that means you must like me, which is not, no. I realized that was an incredibly toxic mindset.
Toxic, yeah.
Not just for, mostly for myself, because it's it meant that I was spending all of my time around other people feeling inadequate, feeling anyway, but call back to the purity culture conversation a few months back, and exactly a lot of it came from that, is that growing up in that environment where I was taught to be subservient, and always put my needs second, right?
It almost makes me feel like that part of our default in society is to seek connection when we feel hurt, as opposed to just to seek connection when things are good. Julian, what were you thinking?
So two things. The first, I want to go back a little bit to what you were saying about the connection and doing the community thing and being able to connect with each other like this, because I think part of like sitting in, these types of feelings require community and require people. So it's like part of the process for that, like, that like for most people, like there are some things that you have to like, kind of go about yourself and kind of solo through. But I think for a lot of things in life, there is this requirement to at least be able to like offload and like tell someone your story to help you like work through things. Because a lot of times when you're telling someone something, like someone ever come up to you and be like, hey, like they start asking you a question, and then halfway through they realize they know the answer.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, never mind. I got it. And you're like, you sure? Like, yeah, I got it. Okay. They just needed to like start to work through it, and you need another person for that. The
It's
other
a
thing
sounding
was,
board effect.
At least until AI takes over.
yeah, unfortunately. The other thing was to the unfortunateness of the bonding through like negative experiences. So I think there's probably two or three like points for that. Is the first thing is, I think just as organisms, like all like animals, both human and non-human alike, the aversiveness to like fear, to negative, to negative consequences, to pain, uh, probably serves a better like drive to keep us alive, right? The like the basic biological nature of any animal, human or non-human, is to pass on its genes and not be eaten, and not die, like live as long as it can, pass on its genes, and eat and whatnot, the basics. So the one thing like that will keep you alive, is avoiding like predators, avoiding risky things, risky behavior. On top of that, we're social creatures. We're social beings. And so I think we have too many opportunities for those negative reactions, right? Like, because if you think about like, again, humans in the grand scheme of our entire existence, not just the last, few thousand years that we've lived in society with cities, right? We would have been running from, the lions, running from bears, predators, but we would have been hunting and celebrating, and like, we make a hunt, we find a field of berries, like we would celebrate these things together. And I think with today's culture, and especially like in America, like what celebrations do we have? Because when you work all week and you get your paycheck on Friday, no one's around to celebrate with you, right? But when someone dies, like everyone's around. So like we have too many opportunities, I think, for those negative bondings and not enough for the positive. Like one of my things in Bob, honestly, this is probably, I'm going to throw this to the Bridge City ether, because this is a Bridge City thing. This is not a thing I can do by myself. Bob, I need your help with this. I think there needs to be something of a coming of age, passing of the torch for children, for teens, right? Like I think we kind of lost that, and like some things
Sweet
give kids that,
16s,
like,
quinceañeras.
Right.
there are certain cultures that do it, but like America doesn't have like a thing, right? Like it's go to college, join the army. You got like Boy Scouts and stuff, but everything is like, everything is so dispersed. And then you have things that are tied to like religion and organizations that it just gets a little bit like weird and culty.
We need more cultural celebrations for sure.
Cultural celebrations.
And I think past just graduation.
Yeah. Well, even graduation isn't necessarily like viewed in the same way I think it was at one point.
Because everyone had everyone. Like,
it's just a participation prize. It's at some point.
It's the thing you got to do to get a job. And after you get a job, it's not like the grand prize. So it's like, it's
No, Julie, I really like this idea, because like if you guys talk to me, I'm a big fan of celebrating everything. Like literally, if you talk to me, I'm like, oh, what? Like my boyfriend is in construction, and so he frequently has inspections on like houses and stuff. I'm like, oh, we got to celebrate. And he's just like, well, I have like another one next week. I'm like, yeah, and we'll celebrate then when you pass that one too. Like, honestly, I really like this idea, Julie, because you're right. If the only times we actually have moments where we come together as people, as humans, as a country, whatever that may be, in these large moments, is just through tragedy, is just through trauma, then that's what we're going to associate like unity with, right? We're going to be like,
how
oh,
many
no.
times you see a cousin and it's only at funerals?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, we got to stop meeting like this. Like every time I see you, it's at a funeral.
And that's the importance of having intentional community, right?
Right, and the attraction of ritual. Yeah, there's a reason why rituals pop up and resonate with people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, and we talk about that a lot. Like, what is community? What is connecting better mean? And we even talk about ritual. Like, with churches, I feel like we tend to be like, oh, does the church do that? Does the church get together on Sunday? No, then we're not doing that. Does the church eat together? Then we're not doing that. You guys, they've been doing this for thousands of years. There's not all that.
The church doesn't own weekly gatherings.
Yeah, the church does not own connection, does not own community. And that's why we do these things. That's why we have these panels. That's why we showcase this stuff. And because this is what we're doing on campus. And this doesn't belong to anybody. This belongs to all of us.
That's the word I was looking for. Rites of passage. That was the specific verbiage I was looking for. Thank you so much, Luna. Rites of passage.
Dude, we're gonna have to have like
but what you like smear the blood on the face of the when the boy kills.
Honestly, let's get weird with it. Like, I'm so down for there to be a rite of passage of some kind. Like, it's legit.
Yeah. It's just hard to keep that stuff from getting culty,
We're not going to help the rumors of not being a cult if we're just like, no, we just have this blood ritual. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's not real blood. It's just Kool-Aid. Don't worry. Like, this cool. This feels like real blood.
No, cool. I really like, but like, really, and I think that's why
you kind of like Noble was trying to say something there for a second.
No, please. Mute.
I'm just listening, and I have ideas while I'm listening along. But yeah.
Please write them down.
It was interesting what Julian just said. I remember studying some native tribes that they did something like a rite of passage where instead of celebrating birthdays, they would come together and celebrate anytime somebody hit like 3 different milestones in their life. So no matter what age you actually were, when you hit this first milestone, you became a teenager. And when you hit this next milestone, you became a man. And that put a burden on the community, a responsibility to see everybody make it. So if there was somebody who was, hadn't reached their milestone, the community would come together and be like, hey, what do we need to do to get you to, reach your teenage years? And it wasn't based on, age. It was just based on
ability,
these rites of passage.
Merit.
I love that.
I actually really love that as well. And I feel like so we talk about this a lot. We talk about hyper individualism and kind of tying it back here to the sit-in theme, so much about the way our current society is just constructed is about kind of dealing with these hard emotions alone, unless it's, of course, it's a global tragedy. A lot of what we talk about sitting in it, we're like, hey, this is what you have to do. This is how you have to move forward. This is how you have to react and take control of your nervous system and be flexible and all these things. But like, I think we do sometimes even with the sit-in it's serious, need to kind of focus like, hey, that's why you have community at your back. That's why we need to have like, I'm having a hard time sitting in this feeling, a hard time doing this. That's where like no, I really like what you said about how like this tribe, the community took the onus on themselves, the accountability on themselves and said, hey, how do we make an opportunity for you to go through this rite of passage? And I think as a community, that's what when we hear someone saying like, yeah, I am struggling right now. I am. And like, dude, we need to talk. I just need to get this off my chest. I need to talk to you. And like, that's what that looks like. That's it. Sometimes there's some things you have to handle alone. You have to take it into yourself, and it's not going to be enough context you can give to anyone else. But like having this community here and being able to share these moments like that can be a way that you sit in it. That can be a way you ask them to sit with you in it.
Yeah, that's really nice. I don't know if we've really explored that aspect of
I came up with it on my own.
I like it. I like the
sit with me.
Yeah.
Sit with me.
Right.
We're in part 2, you guys. Sit with me. I can help it. Everything becomes an idea. I'm like, no, but really,
I might have do a series on rituals and personal celebrations. Sit with me.
I really like that.
We should do it.
I really, thankfully this is recorded. We'll run it through our notes later. We'll get some stuff happening with it. No, what I really liked about this part of the conversation too, and I've lost all my notes here at this point, but in this, I feel like a lot of this keeps coming back to that capacity. And I think a lot of people I love the idea of having these celebrations and having these moments where we have to take silence with ourselves and stuff. But I think it all kind of comes back down to what is our capacity to take things on. And I think that's where, tying this back in, a community also helps you because it increases your capacity. It says when this is too hard for me to carry, I can go over here. So that capacity question is in the notes. It is kind of in there. But really, so when it comes to capacity, and you guys know I love practical tools. How do you guys get to a point where you can say, okay, I'm at capacity on this, like, or I need to do something different because this is too much for me. Like, how do you know when you got there?
Honestly, by being aware of the emotions I'm feeling, because it's kind of a catch-22, right? Because you have to be able to feel the emotions in order to know what the emotions are telling you. And I know for me, I know I'm at capacity when I feel emotionally overwhelmed, right? And if I feel like I'm trying to slog through molasses to do every little thing, I know, okay, I'm overcommitting somewhere. And sometimes that overcommitment is just overthinking.
It
It's
could
like
be.
I'm thinking too much about this one thing. Um, and it's not leaving enough mental space or capacity to deal with the actual stuff happening out in the real world, right? And that's I think it's very much that kind of back and forth of like I have to be able to feel the emotions to know what they're telling me. Otherwise, I just tend to shut down, right?
No, I really like it. So like, so how do you guys? Because so Jude, thinking about what you said, I think it's in terms of overthinkers. So this is when I'm at capacity. When a situation happens, let's say I come home and my cat's sick, kind of thing. I'll tend to run through every bad scenario. How much money do I have to help my cat? How bad is this going to get if I can't do it? Do I have to? I live in the mountains, so can I get to a vet? And I'll start playing through all these different scenarios, and I kind of bring myself to capacity because all of a sudden there'll be like this one bad thing that's happening. Yeah, cat's sick, need to do something about it. But now I've lived 14 different futures where I don't have enough money to pay for him. He's gonna die. I don't know what to do. Maybe I go waste the money. He would have been fine anyways. Like this is what I'm talking about. Like I like practical tools. When I get to that point where I'm looping, I'm spiraling, like how do you guys know how to get out of that or how to stop that?
You got to sit in it, honestly. Like I mean, like
I don't want to.
that's the emotional, like it's the overthinking is an avoidance of dealing or experiencing the emotions, because experiencing the emotions kind of sucks. But by overthinking, you've now filled up your capacity to actually handle the emotions, and so you're going to try and avoid them even more, because you don't have the capacity to handle your emotions because all of your capacity is used up by the overthinking and the ruminating. Um, and I just like what I've eventually learned the hard way is that at a certain point, you just got to stop. You just got to stop and just be in the present and just feel what you're feeling, and try not to think about it too hard. And like let the thinking about it happen after you felt all the emotions, because the emotions do give you a lot of data that'll help you approach the situation
I
better.
like that.
Like,
Actually,
I think you need a living will for your cat.
I literally, I do. I just had a light bulb moment. Legit, when Jude was saying that, I was like, oh, the filter we were talking about earlier is discernment on when these emotions. I was just like, and literally, you guys, it was a literal light bulb moment. I was just like, gotta use discernment to figure out, is this worth wasting your time for? Is this worth stressing yourself out to go into capacity over? Thank you, Jude. That was very helpful.
oh,
So,
Nobu came up with
some
the filter idea.
Yes, thank you.
something I do to help me make sure I have the right capacity is I have a will of life where I look at metrics of how well I'm doing in any category of my life. And even if it's not on my metrics of what I wrote down on this wheel of life, if just any random thing shocks me or any experience happens that's giving me a lot of red flags, I stop, I take a moment, put it on my schedule for a time to address it, and I apply an action plan to anything that's giving me a lot of anxiety. So that action plan to me looks like trying to find clarity, meaning I research on this topic, I find proper connections to get advice about this topic. I understand what's going on with this beyond what I thought I knew. So I get clarity on it better. And when I have clarity, that clarity then informs me on a direction I need to go. So when I choose a direction I need to go, then I find the right alignment to have everything work out with that direction. And when I get everything in alignment, then I apply consistency with that action plan of doing everything I wanted to do to be in the right direction, in the right alignment over and over and over. And that resolves whatever problems and issues I was having, because life has a way of not resolving issues until you actually
take action with
approach
them.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of when I think it was like week 3 when Durante was talking about like having several seats, because like Noble, what you're talking about, how you have this wheel, you have this wheel of life, and there's different aspects of your life that need like help, that you may need attention in. And I kind of feel like that's one of those things where we talk about capacity, having several seats. Like sometimes you are occupying multiple seats at once, and maybe 2 of those seats need attention, maybe 3 of those seats do, maybe it's just you have one area that you just need some help with from a community. Like I feel like that was really well encapsulated within that, like taking several seats metaphor kind of thing. So thank you so much for sharing that. I apologize, I got distracted.
I was going to say that, Noble, you I'm very impressive, because I don't think that I was anywhere near together like you seem to be, at least navigating things in your life comparatively. I did not have that kind of plan at your age, and so I think you're very impressive, by the way. So just
I was impressive.
I appreciate it. I see myself as someone learning and growing, and I'm looking for role models, and you guys seem great. So I got a lot to learn from you guys.
But I like that so much of us.
Here, Noble.
Agreed. And I think that so much of us always feel like we're learning and growing. Like, I mean, Mark, you say that you didn't necessarily have these things together, but like, you strike me as someone who's always probably been thinking, always probably been, trying to rub 2 sticks together and figure out what happens next, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm pretty smart. Yeah, 100%.
There's always things like the other thing though is that we talked about ritual and these moments of coming of age and stuff like that in one's life, and it's funny because I think just socially what we have, those rituals that we have available to us are what our parents or we don't necessarily have something outside of our parents to take us through those rituals. So whatever they have is what we end up with. And I was just thinking, my father was not necessarily the most religious guy. So like when I was kind of like going in through this young adulthood, and that's also when my mom passed, was just like I didn't really have any touch points like that. And I'm not sure, everybody's experience is different, and we all have to navigate it in some way or another. And I just was just thinking that it would have been so good to have some kind of cultural touch point like that. I was searching for them. I was looking for those cultural touch points. I ended up going to Catholic Church with friends and stuff like that. It was really interesting because I saw a whole different way of approaching religion. It showed me some different aspects. I know it was just another Christian religion, but whatever, it was different.
Catholicism is very different. And you know what, with Mark, I'm listening to you and I'm like, I'm gonna make tags on the campus, and Mark, yours is gonna be the seeker, because I kid you not, like you are always out there, like you're exploring and trying to find other ways to think about something. And I think that's awesome. Like I'm not surprised that that's been a theme throughout your life, kind of thing. And I love what you said about cultural touch points. I wish that we had, like, Julian, this is a great idea. I wish that we had more of these as people, like things to celebrate and feel joy over, and not feel like we have to live our life through various tragedies one at a time kind of thing. So before we try something, you guys, and forgive me because this is going to be messy. I brought this up a little bit before the stream, and thank you guys for those that you're going to experience some mess with us a little bit right now. We're going to try the lightning round. Okay. So our gracious voice of God here has put together some slides for us, and I want reactions, whatever that may look like. It can be mouth slightly agape, but I'm looking for reactions. These were various terms that came up over our Sitness series. Now, I do want to remind the audience and everyone, and even our panelists, and even myself, over the course of the Sitness series, we talked about, okay, hey, you're going to have a fear of sitting if that chair can hold you, right? If you are confident enough to take that seat. And when you do take that seat, are you relaxing? Are you letting it happen? Are you sitting in the demands of that seat? Then once you have taken that seat, taking a couple with you, right? And so some points is going to be seat taken. I'm not going to tie that in right now. What I do want to tie in is with each one of these weeks that we've had certain concepts that have come through. And so I want to get the panel's reaction. Now I'm going to put this up to you guys a little bit. Do you guys want to do like one word reactions? Because they're going to be not necessarily questions, but statements for you guys to kind of chime in on. And don't get me wrong, it may go really weird and look really bad because I don't know how to make this work. But I want to give it a shot if you guys are down. Are you guys here for this?
Yeah.
I can't limit myself to one word. I make no promises.
There, okay. Wait, no.
What's that?
Dude, you make it.
Availability.
So let's go ahead.
Not alignment?
No, yeah, let's go ahead to our first one. So I would like you guys to react to them. Availability does not mean alignment. What do you guys think about that statement?
I think that's part of that's kind of the Bridge City thing, is that we don't need to read on everything. So it's
I see it a different way. Okay. Is that availability does not mean alignment. It's like bringing it back to that discernment filter idea. Is that just because I am capable of taking on this task doesn't mean it's a task I want to take on.
Yes, I like that.
Or an idea.
Okay,
lightning round. You get a puzzle piece that fits, but you can clearly see it don't belong there.
Yeah, just because it slightly fits doesn't mean you got to put it there. Doesn't mean it. Okay, round 2. Next one. Neither yesterday nor tomorrow gets custody of today. And I do like that one. What do you guys think? Phrasing a little bit. Is today owned by the past, the future, or just by right now? What do you guys think?
The present owns all.
Just right now.
Present owns everything.
It's never too late to go the right direction.
Never too
Makes me
late.
think of anxiety and rumination. It's like you've written about tomorrow is anxiety, written about yesterday is rumination. Yeah. Both of those things are not great for you to be doing all the time, and you should be focusing on what you're doing today, or you'll be ruminating about today tomorrow.
That does. What is it? The failures of yesterday are not prophetic for tomorrow's success. Something like that. Dorothy said it better, but it's in the replays. That. Go watch them. Let me get number 3. What's the third lightning round here? Everybody didn't make room. Somebody did. How do you guys feel about that? Somebody made.
You don't have to vibe with everyone.
Yeah, that's true. I gotta see it like that. I don't know. For me, I feel like this one kind of reads as like, just because everyone doesn't want you there doesn't mean somebody doesn't want you there. Is that thought the right read on that? Is that you guys seen that too?
I was thinking like it only takes one person to like accept.
Like,
you could walk past 20 people that don't want anything to do with you and find, the one person that does afterward. Hey.
I like that.
Mr. Monica, great job.
Yeah, this is not my favorite prompt. Please, Noble.
Oh, I was gonna say it brings my mind to that there's people who can come together to make humanity work, and you can go where you want to.
I do get a wanted sense from this one, but it's not my favorite. Let's bring on number 4. Go to the next one. I'm not going to count these anymore because I will lose track. So stop treating your potential like an unverified rumor. Stop treating your potential like an unverified rumor.
Oh,
Really? Is this like imposter
Oh
syndrome?
yeah,
Oh, I've been dying to use
imposter
this actually.
syndrome, huge. Yeah,
That's
what I'm
my,
reading from that.
my youngest son runs cross country, and he's got his first meet on Thursday, and they do a little potluck supper on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and it's a carb loading sort of. We all get together and bring our favorite pasta dishes. We're going to make a pasta salad, and I worry that mine's not going to, make the grade compared to the others. I'm afraid of having it. I've got impasta syndrome.
Bob, you did not. You did not.
I've been sitting on that one. So for those who are waiting for the more food metaphor,
on that one. Come on.
He's like, I've had this
Get
dad
this guy
joke
outta
locked and
here.
loaded all straight. By far the best. Wait, is your son
I
really
did not
cross
see that
country
coming.
though?
He really is. Yeah.
Okay, good. I was just like, was that
At
whole
least
thing a
that.
lie?
Nice.
Bring on the next one. Bob took that reaction. He owns it. He owns it. I love. No.
Sorry.
Bob, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. You did great on it.
It was great.
We should have taken a
You're
poll.
structurally engineered to be a little bit lame.
I absolutely love it. No, it brings me joy. All right, next
That's
one.
imposter syndrome right there. Once you take the seat, stop acting like you stole it.
Oh, I could see that. Once you take the seat, stop acting like you stole it.
Yeah.
Is that fake? Is that fake it till you make it? Essentially, right?
Kinda,
or
yeah.
don't fake it. Just
That
guess,
makes me
yeah.
think about what I was talking
Well,
about
there's nothing
earlier
to
with
fake.
that again, I think it's another imposter syndrome one, but I get like what I was talking about earlier, where I always had that sense that I was supposed to put myself second all of the time, right? Like this idea that like I always felt like I had to be grateful that I was even allowed in the room, and so I didn't feel good putting myself forward for anything beyond that.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I just want to say one thing. Jude, thank you so much for sharing this. And if anyone feels that way, just in general, like, Jude, do you have any recommendation on what? Because like I hear that, it upsets me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we are all valid. We all have the right to be in this room. And if someone has made you feel otherwise, you don't need them. You don't need that toxic in your life.
I don't have that problem at Bridge City, partly because I've grown as a person, and partly because people at Bridge City really don't give that vibe off. For the most part. Pretty much everyone here is inclusive and looking for participation. I had this problem a lot in my like late teens, early 20s.
Well,
I kind of grew out of it a little bit by the time I hit 30.
And that's just it. I don't want someone to wait till 30 to grow out of this message. Like wherever you are at, having agency and autonomy and being here, means you are worth being here and you are supposed to be here, and do not let anyone make you feel otherwise, ever. It upsets me. I'm sorry. It makes me legit angry, and I'm glad you don't feel that way.
It's worth saying, because sometimes that's what you need to hear. Like, it was hearing people say things like that kind of convinced me to figure out how to deconstruct that. It was a long process, but it was. I remember once it was at some kind of conference, and I asked about imposter syndrome, and I remember the response the person said is that she felt the best remedy for imposter syndrome was to spend as much time as possible around people who believe in you, right? And if you spend your time around the people who believe in you and see your value, then you'll see yourself through their eyes more. Whereas the problem is I was spending a lot of time around people who looked down on me or sidelined me. And again, coming from that purity culture, right, is that in most of those people, they didn't have malicious intent, but it was just the fact that I was a woman in that culture.
You know what? Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm going to bring this back to the seat thing. So sometimes you may be sitting in a seat that you think is meant for you, but if that seat doesn't feel right, get out of there. There's more seats out there. If someone's making you feel bad for sitting in that seat and you're not feeling great in it, then maybe that's not the seat you belong in. Jude, I am glad you got out of that culture. And for anyone, we're going to have to do an event on campus for purity culture, like, and deconstruction of it.
NSFW series a few months back. We really covered a lot of that. I think we did
didn't we?
On purity culture. Yeah, we did that same month.
And we did do a full trigger warning on purity culture, but we should do like a full one kind of thing.
We did. I'm pretty sure we did, because I got off work early to participate in that.
Oh no, we'll definitely have to dig into that more for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and bring on the next lightning round. You guys forgot we were in lightning round, huh? We got a little off track there. All right. Yeah. Can it hold my weight?
Hold my weight.
Can it hold my weight?
And this is what this was Durante's, the first kind of visual that he gave in the first week, which I loved, which is talking about this embarrassing incident that he had in high school, where a chair collapsed under him, and it immediately made me think. I've heard the apologetic. I've had a number of religious people tell me, well, you have faith in that chair, don't you?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm a skinny white dude, and so when they pose that question, of course I've never questioned that a chair would hold me up, but that's a very kind of biased question. I bet you people didn't ask Durante that when he was 580 pounds.
Oh my God, I would imagine you would never say that to someone who's bigger, just like. You don't question that chair is going to fit you. It's like, wait, yes.
Yeah, that was very much a reality for him, and it's important to kind of
and even if it's not you, I remember my mom attempted to make my parents made some homemade folding chairs, and when they worked, they were fine, but those things collapsed at a drop of a pin. You couldn't wiggle or anything on them. So it's like sometimes it's just the structure of the chair, right?
Yeah, really. Like it's just
you don't always know which chair. And it's like, and if you're familiar with certain types of chairs, then of course you're going to be more likely to trust those chairs. But there was a number of people who tried to sit down on those folding chairs, and it's just like, nope.
That's like not for you. No. Okay. Hold on. And this next one we're gonna do a little different. We're gonna do a little different.
One more about the chair. So
Bring it in here.
No. I have this. It's a little folding chair. It's literally like probably less than 2 feet tall.
I know exactly.
But it looks like a miniature like camping traditional.
Yes.
Camping right. It came with this little indoor sauna that I got, and on the box it says maximum weight 200 pounds. I sat in it real slow, just kind of see and it felt pretty normal. But I'm 230.
Julian, it said it on the box.
I left it, but listen. So I didn't like. I was like, I'll just leave it on the back porch, and if I go out there, I'll maybe sit in it, whatever. But I think leaving it out in like the sun and the rain, like Memphis, it's a lot of rain, a lot of sun. It's like a cycle. It'll be thunderstorming, and then it'll be bright and sunny. So stuff like that, it just broke down, and one day just poof right up under me. So The lesson is, if you know the seat cannot hold you, don't sit in
it. The chair was marinated. Full circle, you guys. That's our show. Bye. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, well, we got a few more of these. The next one I'd like to do a little special. On this one, it's going to be lightning round only for one person's reaction, and that person is going to be Mark. You are in the hot seat. Late Odyssey. You built the fence to keep pain out. This feels like an attack. Z chose this one. Mark, what is your reaction?
Wow. I mean, this is there's just all these moments in my life that I could see this talking about this. When I think about actually when my mom passed, that the very first thing is to build a fence, to like put up walls, but it's funny because then I would also listen to music that was about, kind of like tearing down those walls to try and think about, how do I get beyond that? And then I think that throughout my life, I've been, I think that I've had difficulties in getting really, really intimate relationships just because I have that fence up, and it's hard. It's hard.
Thank you. I very much resonate with what you said, and I wouldn't be surprised if some people in our audience did too, which means the lightning round on one person was a success. Lady Lost says it's not so much a fence as it is a castle. Lady, I think
there's a moat, and there's
there's guards,
alligators.
Knights. I'm the queen. I'm very guarded. I very much feel this way. Okay, we're gonna try lightning round again. Only this time, Noble, you're in the hot seat. Z, lay it on us. Sitting is not surrender. What do you think?
I think this reminds me of building the right habits. I think a lot of times you can not facing your fears, it's really the easy fall back into what you were doing before and in the past. But if you build the right habits, and actually analyze, like what the last one was saying, the pain that's there, it's not a form of letting it consume you. It's a form of letting it refine you.
Yes.
So if you have the right mindset, you can approach things in a way where it can make you better coming out the other side.
Yes, I absolutely love it. Noble, you're right. So many people look at like, oh, if I just, I got in a car accident. It's okay. Look, I'm back at work the next day. I'm handling this. I don't even care. It doesn't even faze me. That just because you're not sitting it doesn't mean you aren't that you're doing something positive with it. You're avoiding it. You're walking away from it. Sometimes you got to sit in it. It doesn't mean you're surrendering to what happened. You're giving yourself the space. You're giving yourself the place to actually handle it, to deal with it, to come to terms with it. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do one more hot seat. Let's do Bob. Next one's for you.
Oh no.
The chair may be new, but the memory is not.
The chair may be new, but the memory is not.
Like you just bought that chair from IKEA, but you remember that pattern on it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I leave it to you.
And as Julian can attest, the IKEA closed. We had an IKEA. My nearest IKEA closed on us.
Really? I've never been to an IKEA, honestly, and I think we have at least one down here in SoCal. I only know it from 500 Days of Summer. So it sounds like this one reminds you of IKEA.
Yes, I guess so. Yeah, I'm not connecting to that prompt. I'm sorry.
You honestly
down on this one.
How about okay? So you got us back up going. Relief is not always recovery. What do you think about that? I was like, no, relief is always recovery. You silly.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Now it's the dealer's choice here.
Okay, actually, I think this is giving you a secret message right now that you are productively avoiding this right now. And flexibility says you have options.
I'm just gonna keep throwing them at you till something's
like something's gonna grab you, Bob. Something's gonna get you hard. No, I absolutely love it. How about we think about it as a whole? And this is where I want everyone, because we're going to be ending the stream here shortly. And as you guys know, this has been our teaser for the coffee hour that will be coming exactly up after the stream ends. So though you've enjoyed our beautiful faces, we want to definitely hear from you. But before we get there, I want to just hear from you guys here. Like overall, what has this series meant to you? Like after 4 weeks of sitting in it, are you ready to participate? Are you ready to sit down in those chairs? What do you guys think? It's okay. Don't answer all at once.
Yeah.
We're not.
All right.
Of course.
What is that going to mean? Like, this series hasn't been about, oh, you guys have to deal with your problems. You guys stop avoiding. We're trying to give you options, invitations. Like, if you want to, there are chairs for you here.
And I think, like as Noble mentioned, he said it's tough to deal with other people if they're not being, kind of genuine with you. And it also has to do with the inner monologue we have, or the dialogue we have. It's like you've got to be honest with yourself, and part of being really honest with yourself is truly sitting with difficult things you're facing. What are my options? What do I know about this situation? So it's really not trying to candy coat it for yourself. It's being truly honest.
No, really, if you value honesty, if you value being authentic to yourself and being authentic and having authentic relationships and genuine relationships with those around you, I think you have to learn how to sit in it. You have to learn how to say, I may not understand all my emotions, but I'm gonna try. And if I need help, I'm gonna lean on the people around me who can help me, on my community, on my family, on the people that care about me. I think there's something to be said about seeking out this type of truth for yourself and for the people around you, sincerely. But don't let it just be me. What else has this series meant to you guys? Like, what have you guys taken away from it? Are you ready to sit in it? sit in it? I feel like it's from a movie. It's like on the tip of my tongue somewhere.
I've thought more about discernment from this, just coming back to the notion of like trying to find, am I welcome in this room? You know, is this the place that I want to be? You know, this is I don't know. I do some coding, and I contributed to a code repository this past week. And one of the things that happens, so it has a bot that goes through and evaluates contributions. And it looked at mine. It said, "Oh, this is already taken care of," and it closed it out. But it was obviously from like a later, like it was still having the problem, even though they thought it was done, but it wasn't. And I'm like, well, you know, this is somebody who's not paying enough attention. You know, this is a place that is this a group that I want to be contributing to if they're not if they're not really discerning and being present and being there.
Yeah.
You know, is this a group that I want to be with? You know. So
well, you were practicing discernment
in an environment where you can thrive, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is this a place you want to be? Is this a place where where it's good for you to be? Even
right?
Like, is it healthy for you to stay?
I think those are two highlights from this series that we like. Maybe areas we'd want to explore more on the campus is one, who do you want to sit with you, and two, is the seat where you want to be? And I know we talked about like I think the first week was like that fear of sitting and, you know, when you're taking, like when to take these seats, but like that discernment piece of like, is this a chair you actually want to be in? Just, what was it we said earlier? Was it during the lightning round where it was like, hey, we're always going to have a little bit on the live streams. Is it essentially just because you have the aptitude doesn't mean you should have the alignment? Is that what it was?
Just because your availability isn't alignment.
Availability is an alignment, and that's I think, Mark, what you're touching on here. It's that discernment to be like, wait, I don't want to be doing this. I don't really like this. And that's.
I would also add.
Please.
I would also add anti-avoidance. When you have anti-avoidance, it's the idea that, you know, if something's not working, we can find ways to comfort ourselves. That doesn't mean that we've actually resolved the issues. So when we sit in it, we can actually find ways to come together, whether it's proper connections, whether it's focusing and self-reflecting on our own to find solutions to what the real root cause of things are. And solutions are out there. If you can't find the solutions yourself, somebody else probably has the solution out there.
Absolutely. There's a lot of ways that avoidance can take shape and present. It's not always just like, oh, I'm looking away from it. Really, maybe you think, Jude, I'm going to call you out here a little bit. Forgive me. You had talked about your overthinking, about how sometimes you listen to a lot of like thinking content just to try to avoid whatever the actual issue is. And so it looks like you're doing great stuff. You're learning, you're expanding your mind. You're just not touching that little thing way over there, back there, kind of thing. So
I'm learning about everything around the emotion instead of just experiencing the emotion.
We call it the avoided donut, and it is delicious.
Special interest in neuropsychology rather than just experiencing emotions.
I love that. I absolutely. So, Jude, what has sit in it meant for you then? As this series, as it comes to a close, we have discernment from Mark. Bob says he really wants to go to IKEA. Noble's talking about anti-avoidant. What has this series meant for you?
Honestly, it's just been a really good reminder to stay present, right? To just remember that if I spend too much time worrying about tomorrow or replaying what happened yesterday, I'm going to forget to make today the yesterdays I can be proud of.
I like that. It really, being present is so huge. Like, I feel like that, and Jude, that's my struggle. That's probably my underline right there too, is just not letting yesterday's just failures dictate today, what have you. Be present. Enjoy the now. All right, Julia, close us out with the series. What has it meant to you? How important is it to you? How many seats do you have? What happened with that little folding chair? Did you throw it away?
It's still back there on the patio.
Throw it away. When the seat's broken, throw it away.
I just keep like looking at it like I got it. Okay.
So do we have to have a decluttering series now?
We do.
Right.
Still marinating, okay? That's it.
This will be Julian's coming of age ritual, throwing away old chairs that are broken.
You can never allow to sit in that seat again. I absolutely love that. Yeah.
No, it's unsittable now. So I think definitely, like Jude said, a reminder of like staying present. Because like the first thing in order to sit with it, an emotion is to identify it, right? And to identify something that you're presently dealing with, you kind of have to be in the present. Like you can't be thinking about tomorrow, yesterday. You have to be thinking about right now and like your state of being. And I would say even like, deep down into like, even like your breath and your heartbeat, like your internal rhythms. I think that really helps like put a physical practice on an emotional state, right? Like how do you exercise your brain, like your mind? Like you can't move your mind, you can't, so it's like that presentness.
Art. You exercise your mind with art.
No, Julian's dropping
There's
like
lots of
a
ways.
great
I think
topic.
meditation is one for me, personally, at least.
Julian is dropping a great topic that would have been great to dive in a panel discussion where we talk about the physicality of mindfulness. That would have been a beautiful talk. Hey, we'll save it for a small talk or so. But no, I agree. You have to have those physical ways. Your brain is an organ.
Well, because literally your brain, like in order for your mind to like process, like in order for your mind to work to its fullest capacity, you need oxygen.
Yes.
Right. And so if you're shallow breathing while trying to, while you're ruminating, right, you're not giving the full amount of power and availability to your brain to actually do the thinking. So I think,
to your capacity.
Not only does it help you like, bring it back and be present, but it also physically, assists, in that breath assists with the actual thinking process itself. And so I would say the other thing is the avoidance. Like I realized because I have that ability to sit so like poignantly with emotions, I can give myself an excuse to avoid other ones. Right. Because I can dive so deep and take apart these things. It's like, okay, like I'm doing good. I'm analyzing and progressing in my emotional flexibility.
I love it.
But then I have something over here where it's like, hey, what about me? And I'm like, shut up.
It's the avoided donut, which you have heard here first. We are going to stick with that. No, I absolutely. It's honestly, whatever you took from this series, whether it was using your filter a little bit better, practicing that discernment, practicing different anti-avoidant activities, trying to not just avoid an emotion because it's uncomfortable, but actually sit with it and peel it back, deconstruct it a little bit, lean on others when you need to, understand where you have areas that you struggle. Whatever sitting in it looks like for you, there's always a chair for you at Bridge City. Yes, I went there, not even in my notes. It's so great. So I will hope you join us today for coffee hour, which will be coming on immediately after this.
Sit with us if you want.
If you want to. It's always just an invitation. We ain't going to force you. Coffee hour after coffee hour. Yes. So
unfortunately, I will not be at coffee hour. I've got to take off. I've got a live
abandon us just like that.
In-person event. I know.
No. Best of luck to you. And honestly, thank you guys to all of our panelists. You guys, Julian, Bob, Mark, Jude, Noble. You guys, thank you guys all so much for spending your Sunday morning with us. You here, you there, you on the replay in the future, thinking about now. Just thank you all. And
thank you for facilitating, Ashley. This was awesome.
I did want to thank you. I'm not going to lie. But keep rising, be the bridge. See you in coffee hour.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sit in a song. Yeah. Hey. Welcome in, take a a seat and let us know just how you do. There is no one else on this planet who is as fly as you are. Take up your mantle and leave no residue. This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. What if I told you to sit in it for a minute and wrestle with your intentions? I know you're tired of pretending, yeah. I hope you're listening, this is just the beginning. And sitting is where the winning is. Learn it and you gon' win again. It's your throne cause you're W2 for a win. The lights on and the future just welcomed you in. Big boss flaws like Daenerys, now shall we begin? When you play the Game of Thrones, you better be playing to win. Masters and bastards is the language of past interactions. Disaster strikes and we need you seated, ready for action. Have some compassion, be rational, bring the fractional back to you in your capacity. Actually have audacity. Sit in your chastity, appreciate your masterpiece. Your masterpiece is how you piece together all the recipes. They can cook it up and dish it out, but they will never be the you we need. So please concede, it's time for you to take your seat loud.
Take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet
Who is as fly as you are.
Take up your mantle and leave no
Residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. Come in and take a seat and let us know just how you do. There is no one else on this planet who is as fly as you are. Take up your mantle and leave no residue. This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. Welcome in and take a seat and
Let us know just how you do.
there is no one else on this planet.
Who is as fly as you are.
Take up your mantle.
Leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. Welcome in and take a seat.
And let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet.
As fly as you are.
Take up your mantle and leave no residue. This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof. Can I talk to somebody this afternoon who's had to wrestle with a fear of sitting? Like, I don't know where you've been, I don't know what you've dealt with, but let proof.
Yeah, like I said, there ain't no Jim Crow. My stomach been jumping, bungee rope. You see, I lied to myself. Cried every night, I denied myself. Looking for a sign for a voice out there. That's when I sat down like me, come here. Let's look at your scars, let's open your fears. Let's peel it apart, see what appears. Here, take your seat.
Come in and take a seat and let us know just how you do. There is no one else on this planet who is as fly as you are. Take up your mantle.
Leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are.
Right, on me. That's when I made the jump, more like it was a sit-in. Had to stop pretending my truth was stranger than fiction, like it ain't written. Although my penmanship is sketch, I had to draw the line, connect the dots, remove myself from Mordor's eye. Return to self, return to sender, all your favorite precious little lies and projections. You see my essence ain't a prison, it's a prism of molecules and geometric patterns. I can't believe I let that interference turn to static. I can't believe my enemy was something I imagined. I can't believe with patience peace comes with understanding. The stars in their alignment don't require no one's timing. Your truth what you decided, your seat here you assigned it.
Take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet
Who is as high as you are.
take up your mantle and
Leave no residue.
this is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof.
Welcome in and take a seat. Let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet who is as fly as you.
are.
Take up your mantle.
And leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof.
Welcome in and take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet who is as fly as you are. Take up your mantle.
Leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you are the proof.
Welcome in and take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet.
Who is as fly as you are.
Take up your mantle.
And leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends and now you
Are the proof. Welcome in and take a seat and let us know just how you do.
There is no one else on this planet.
Who is as fly as you are.
Take up your mantle.
And leave no residue.
This is the beginning of legends.
Now you are the proof.